Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're going over the mouse today. I never thought we would get this far, but here we are, 8th video of the Panzer series, and I don't plan on stopping until we run out of Panzers, but I think we still have a few, maybe one, not sure, but there are a few vehicles as popular as the Mao's super heavy tank, envisioned to be impenetrable while taking out the most heavily allied armored tanks. Armored allied tanks? Yes, I'm great at reading. It's surprising the Mao's was ever functional. There are some people that believe that the Mao's could have changed the entire war and turned it around, even though that's pretty much impossible. But I disagree. Super heavies take a lot of resources to design and a field while having limited utility, and the Mao's is certainly no exception. Well, today we'll be taking a look at the history and see why it was made in the first place and how the design changed and why it ultimately failed. To start off, the Panzer VIII Mao's was a marvel of engineering. Seeing how this thing could actually drive forwards and backwards, just in that respect all alone, seeing how it was 188 tons. Just a disclaimer, this video, when I reference stats of the tank, it'll be the V2 prototype, the completed one. The Mao's is powered by the MB517 V12 diesel engine, making 1,200 buff muscular horses. This total a whopping 6.4 horsepower per ton. The maximum speed this roadster could go was 12 miles per hour, or 20 kilometers per hour for literally everyone else. But one question you may ask is, IS-2, where does all the weight come from? Come, my dear boy. This thing is a super heavy tank. It has a ridiculous amount of armor. It has 200 millimeters on the front angled plate, which is angled at 55 millimeters. And it goes up to around 300 without angling. 100 millimeters on the flat side, which includes the side skirts, and 150 on the slightly angled rear, which went through some changes throughout its development. As for the turret, it has 220 millimeters of armor on the front, 200 on the sides and the back. Another large part of the 188 tons that this tank is made out of is the two cannons. The primary cannon being a 128 millimeter gun, that being the KWK 44 L55, somewhat better known as the Jag T-Horse gun, which we'll get to in the next video. The secondary armament is a 75mm KWK 44. Maybe it is a 44. But it's KWK 44 L36, which I think is the one that's on the early Panzer IVs and early Stugs. Another question you may have is, why make a super heavy tank in the first place? Well, actually, there was rumors of the Soviets developing their own super heavy tank, so unable to be outdone, the Germans actually made one. In reality, the Soviets never had a wartime super heavy tank. There was many pre-war tanks that were absolutely ridiculous, but most of them were never really made. But most likely, it was an early rumor of the IS programs that would result in tanks like the IS-1 and IS-2. During the initial development of the Panzer VIII, it was referred to as a mammoth, but for obvious reasons, that was very clear what the idea behind it was, so they renamed the project to the Mao's. One thing I did not know before researching this video was that there was actual limited production to the Mao's, and this resulted in multiple turrets and hulls being made. But due to Allied bombing raids, like many things, it stopped production because the Krupp factory that they were being made in didn't really exist anymore. But most of the ones that were made in the short period of time that they were in production they were mostly scrapped, except for the few examples that, we're talking about in this video. The first working prototype, or not really working, but the first hull that has stuff in it was made in December of 1943, with testing commencing late the same month. The catch with this first prototype was there was no turret, but there was a kind of little block thing put on top of it, so it simulate the weight of the turret, but obviously, it wasn't exactly accurate, but it simulated pretty well, and it looked like what is shown on screen right now. Not very good looking, but it was something. The second prototype, referred to as the V2, was made in March 1944. This was a fully functional tank, gun engine and all. It had the turret and everything on it. This is what is mostly portrayed in the video games, like War Thunder and World War Tanks, and Hearts of Iron 4. But when they tested this thing, they kind of realized this thing is so stupidly heavy, it can't really go over any bridges. So they added a giant snorkel to it, so it could go into the rivers. I think it was an 8-foot snorkel, if I'm correct. But, it's not bad, but it's just kind of, why make it if it can't go over bridges, Like I said before, in the end, this tank, if ever used against Soviets or allies, was really, it would do immense damage against anything that went up against it, but once they called it in on the radio, it would be pretty good dive bombing practice for an IL-2 or P-47. And if I'm being honest, how many of these things could they have actually made if they were to have dumped as much as they could into the project? Because they're just so stupidly expensive to make, it's just not really worth it, and it would not have turned around or they wouldn't have been able to produce it in such numbers that they would be able to turn the war around with it. So, that's my take on the Maus. I know many of people have taken it and taken their opinion on the Maus, and many of people do it after me. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Join the Discord in the link in the description. I am terrible at outros. And as always, thank you for watching. Oh, also I apologize for the slideshow today, guys. There's not exactly footage of this thing,